Very good morning, students. In this class, we will taught, you can say, it's a part of thermodynamics known as thermochemistry. Thermochemistry So thermo means heat. Okay, heat. Thermo means heat. Heat energy associated with chemical change. Associated with chemical change. Thermochemistry means, you can say, the energy changes which occurs in as a result of a chemical reaction, because chemical reactions are carried out with the absorption of energy means heat, and some chemical reactions also involves the evolution of heat energy. So this is nothing but the branch of physical chemistry which deals with this one. It deals with the energy change accompanying in chemical reactions. So deals with energy change accompanying in chemical reactions. That is called thermochemistry. So based upon this concept, there are two types of chemical reactions. Okay, whether the reaction occurring with the evolution of heat energy or with the absorption of heat energy. That is, chemical reactions are broadly classified into two categories. Here I can, first one, that is exothermic reaction. The reaction which occurs with the evolution of heat energy. So energy is released, and particularly an exothermic reaction can be represented generally. An exothermic reaction can be represented as, let's say, A plus B giving rise to product C plus D plus, let's say, Q kilocalorie. And here, if a chemical reaction is represented like this, then you can conclude that this Q calorie per mole or Q kilocalorie amount of energy is released in this reaction. So this reaction is exothermic in nature. Okay, so for an exothermic reaction, delta H is always negative. So negative means energy is released. That means del H, that is enthalpy change or heat change, enthalpy of product minus enthalpy of reactants. So for exothermic change, since energy is released, so you can say enthalpy of product is less than that of enthalpy of reactant. That is at constant pressure. Because the last class I have told you, once the term enthalpy is there, it means at constant pressure, heat content at constant pressure. So for an exothermic reaction at constant volume, if I can say, del U, that should be negative because at constant volume that correspond to internal energy. So at constant volume, so del EU that is equal to internal energy of product minus internal energy of reactant. So for this UP is less than UR. So this is exothermic reaction. If I can represent, we will taught in second year, that is in chemical kinetics. Suppose this one is your energy and this one is reaction progress. As you know, the enthalpy of product is less than that of enthalpy of reactant. So I can place over here something. This one is for reactants. The energy of reactant is higher than that of product. So it will be, the reaction coordinate diagram will be like this, and here somehow this is product. So the product says lower enthalpy than that of a reactant. So this is the representation of your exothermic reaction or an exothermic reaction. Clear? So now the example, if I consider example of exothermic reaction, example neutralization reaction between acid and base. See, suppose I am reacting with sodium hydroxide aqueous medium plus HCl aqueous. So reaction of acid with the base, it will give you salt NaCl aqueous plus H2O liquid. Plus I can write over here, plus it is 13.7 kilocalorie. This is the representation of an exothermic reaction. So what I can write over here, this del H that is equal to minus 13.7 kilocalorie. It's an exothermic reaction. That means this much amount of energy is released, is evolved due to such neutralization reaction. Now let us focus about endothermic reaction. Endothermic reaction. The reaction in which heat energy is absorbed. Heat energy is absorbed. Energy is absorbed in this case. So for an endothermic reaction, what can I write? So del H should be positive. If del H is positive, so del H that is equal to enthalpy of product minus enthalpy of reactant. But in this case, the case is opposite. So enthalpy of product should be greater than enthalpy of reactant. At constant pressure. So at constant volume, it can be written in terms of internal energy. That clear? So at constant volume, that is del U, again it becomes positive. So del U that is equal to internal energy of product minus internal energy of a reactant. So you can say UP is greater than UR. So if I represent its reaction coordinate energy profile diagram for endothermic process, so what happens? So here you can say energy and here is reaction coordinate, or you can say reaction progress. Okay, since the energy of a product is more than that of reactant, so I can write somehow reactant would be here and here, that is product. The product is higher energy than that of a reactant. So this is the reaction profile for endothermic change. So examples of endothermic reaction can be represented as usual. I have told you. Example, carbon solid, it's treated with H2, then what happens? The liberation of carbon monoxide gas plus H2 gas, and here I can write minus 31.4 kilocalorie. You see, if positive sign is there, then del H becomes negative. But here, if I write del H, that will be equal to plus 31.4 kilocalorie. So the reaction is endothermic. Okay. So now we will discuss about enthalpy of reaction, or you can say heat of reaction. Very important. That is enthalpy of reaction, or you can say heat of reaction. So you can define it. It is the amount of heat. Okay, we will define it later. So what is the conclusion we drawn over here? So if there is, we will discuss it in later. See, if conclusion regarding exothermic and endothermic process, three different quantities. Let's say this one is Q, and this one is del U, and this one is del H. Okay, so three quantities are there. This one is, let's say, endothermic, and this one is exothermic. Then for endothermic, since energy is absorbed, so Q becomes positive. Del U also become positive, del H positive. And for exothermic, so Q negative, del U negative, del H also negative. Clear? So you can say this one is sign convection. This one is sign convention. For exothermic and endothermic processes. So let us now define what do you mean by enthalpy of reaction, or you can say heat of reaction. Enthalpy of reaction or heat of reaction. See, okay. Enthalpy of reaction or heat of reaction. Enthalpy of reaction or heat of reaction. It is the amount of heat absorbed or evolved when all the substances as represented by a chemical reaction have completely reacted. That is, all the reactants are converted into products. So during the completion of a chemical reaction, when all the reactants are consumed to give products, the amount of heat absorbed or evolved, that means the nature of the reaction can be exothermic or endothermic. Whatever the amount of heat is absorbed or evolved, that is called heat of reaction, or you can say enthalpy of reaction. So mathematically del H, that is summation of enthalpy of a product minus summation of enthalpy of reactants. So this one is called the enthalpy change of a reaction or heat of reaction. For example, if I consider, for example, H2 gas plus Cl2 gas giving rise to 2HCl gas. Okay, and here this reaction is exothermic as I have told you, so I can write over here plus 185 kilojoule. That means the enthalpy del H, that is equal to enthalpy of products minus enthalpy of sum of enthalpy of reactants, that is 2 into, I can write enthalpy of HCl minus enthalpy of H2 plus enthalpy of Cl2. You see, enthalpy of product minus enthalpy of reactant, you can say. Clear? That will be equal to minus 185 kilojoule. That's why this reaction is exothermic. Is that clear? Now if I consider another example like this, just I have written it, carbon solid plus, whenever it is passed through steam, H2O gas, that implies carbon monoxide plus H2 gas, and here that can be written as minus 130.4 kilojoule. Here you see this del H, that is equal to plus 130.4 kilojoule. That is enthalpy of products minus enthalpy of reactants, that will be equal to positive 130.4 kilojoule. So this reaction is, I have told you, endothermic. Here the energy is absorbed and here the energy is released. Next we will discuss enthalpy changes in different physical processes. Enthalpy change in different physical processes. First one, that is enthalpy of fusion. Enthalpy of fusion. Enthalpy of fusion means it is the enthalpy change when 1 mole of any substance get from its solid state, get converted into its liquid state at its melting point. You know the temperature at which solid converted into liquids at its melting point. At its melting point is called enthalpy of fusion. That clear? For example, if I consider 1 mole of ice, H2O solid, 1 mole get converted into liquid, H2O liquid. So energy is absorbed, you know. This one is an endothermic process. Solid get converted into liquids. That process is known as melting. That is called melting. And here del H should be positive, that is 6.0 kilojoule. And if the case is reversed, that is if 1 mole of liquid get converted into 1 mole of solid, so this one liquid is converted into solid, that is called freezing. The case is opposite, and here energy is released about exactly 6.0 kilojoule. So this the above one, that is endothermic, and the second one, that is exothermic. Now similarly, enthalpy of fusion. After enthalpy of fusion, next one, that is enthalpy of vaporization. Enthalpy of vaporization. So vaporization means the enthalpy change when the enthalpy change when 1 mole of liquid, 1 mole of a liquid is converted into 1 mole of gas, 1 mole of its vapor at vaporization means at which point? At its boiling point. At its boiling point. Again, I am considering that water liquid get converted into water gas. That is called boiling. And again here energy is required, endothermic process. So del H becomes 40.79 kilojoule per mole. Is that clear? Here also kilojoule per mole per mole. And now if the case is reversed, H2O gas converted into H2O liquid. So gas converted into liquid, that is nothing but your condensation. So case is opposite, del H is usually minus 40.79 kilojoule mole inverse. The second case is exothermic. Next, that is enthalpy of vaporization, sublimation. Sublimation means 1 mole of solid get directly converted into its vapor state. The enthalpy change when 1 mole of solid get directly converted into its vapor. For example, if I write iodine solid get converted into iodide vapor, so here energy is absorbed, so del H that is equal to 62.4 kilojoule per mole. The process is endothermic. So in case of sublimation, you see it proceeds through solid get converted into I2 liquid first, then it is converted into its vapor. So solid to liquid, this is called melting, and from liquid to gas, this is called boiling. That means enthalpy of sublimation, del H sublimation, that can be equal to the sum of enthalpy of fusion plus here to here, that is enthalpy of vaporization. Okay, so directly I can write enthalpy of sublimation, del H sublimation, that is equal to, I can write del H sublimation, that is equal to del H fusion plus del H vaporization. This will be enthalpy of sublimation. Okay, so these three are the important terms of enthalpy change which involve physical change, that is from solid to liquid and liquid to its vapor. Next, we will discuss enthalpy of formation, that is enthalpy of formation, or you can say heat of formation. Heat of formation. The definition can be written like this: it is the amount of energy absorbed or evolved when 1 mole of any compound is obtained from its constituent elements. From its constituent elements. 1 mole of any compound formation. For example, I can write, let's say carbon, particularly amorphous form, treated with oxygen gas, O2 gas, to form 1 mole of carbon dioxide gas plus 395.5 kilojoule per mole. Sorry students. So here enthalpy of formation, del H formation, I can directly write, that is minus 395.5 kilojoule, because 1 mole of a carbon dioxide is obtained. Is that clear? If I consider another example, that is H2 gas plus Cl2 gas giving rise to 2HCl gas, and here the energy released, that is 44 kilojoule mole inverse. But here the enthalpy of formation correspond to 1 mole of any compound. So here you see 2 moles are obtained. So for 1 mole, the enthalpy of formation del H formation, that will be equal to minus 44 divided by 2, because 2 mole, for 2 mole this much, and enthalpy of formation correspond to 1 mole. That's why del H formation becomes equal to minus 44.2, that is minus 22 kilojoule per mole. So this is the enthalpy of formation. And you see, enthalpy of formation can be positive or can be negative, it does not matter, it can be exothermic or endothermic. But the key point is, we have to focus formation of 1 mole of any substance. Here 2 mole, so for 1 mole you have to divide 2. That is called enthalpy of formation or heat of formation. Clear? Next, that is standard enthalpy of formation or heat of formation. Standard enthalpy of formation or heat of formation. Standard heat of formation. It is the heat of reaction or heat of formation. It is the enthalpy of formation, when all the reacting species, when all the reactants and products are present in their standard state, So standard state means at 25 degrees centigrade, or you can say 298 Kelvin and 1 atmospheric pressure. This is the standard condition. Is that clear? For example, if I consider carbon solid plus O2 gas giving rise to carbon dioxide, just I have discussed, that will be plus 393.5 kilojoule. Clear? So 1 mole of carbon dioxide is obtained. So this is nothing but your enthalpy of formation, you can say, and del H, standard enthalpy of formation, del H not F. This is called, this not, it stands for standard state, that is at 25 degrees centigrade and 1 atmospheric pressure, that is called standard state. So del H standard, del H not F, that is equal to summation of del H not of products minus summation of del H not formation of reactants. You can say over here formation of products minus reactants. So simply we can write del H not products minus summation of del H not reactants. That clear? So here you see this del H not formation, that will be equal to minus 393.5, that will be equal to del H not of products, that is one product is there only, CO2. I can write del H not formation of CO2. Is that clear? Minus del H not of reactants, that can be written as 0. Why? Because these are free elements, and at standard state the enthalpy of free elements is taken to be 0. So here please remember, at standard state the enthalpies of free elements are taken to be 0. Their enthalpies are taken to be 0. So here the enthalpy of formation, standard enthalpy of formation of carbon dioxide, that is minus 393.5. Enthalpy of combustion, very important. Next we proceed. Enthalpy of combustion. Enthalpy of combustion. You remember this enthalpy of combustion is always exothermic. So it is the amount of energy evolved, or you can say decrease in enthalpy, or decrease in enthalpy when 1 mole of any substance get oxidized. Is that clear? For example, if I consider combustion of methane, let's say CH4 gas plus O2 gas. So combustion of hydrocarbon gives you carbon dioxide and water. CO2 gas plus H2O liquid. And here exothermic process. So del H, that is equal to 890.3 kilojoule mole inverse. That clear? Just balance it. 2 and here 2, here you can say 2. Clear? So here the enthalpy of combustion, you see 1 mole of methane undergoes combustion, so no doubt this is called combustion. So del H combustion, that is this much. Another example, if I consider combustion of a ethane, let's say, that will be C2H6 plus O2, again it give you carbon dioxide plus water. Okay, so if you balance it, 6, 4 carbons are there, so you can say 2 over here, and number of oxygen atom 8, 6, 14, so that will be 7. So here del H, that is equal to minus 745.6 kilojoule per mole. But if I ask you, this is the, if I ask you what is the value of enthalpy of combustion, you see the combustion of 2 mole is there. Since enthalpy of combustion correspond to the oxidation of a 1 mole substance, so here del H combustion can be written as, that is equal to minus 745.6 divided by 2, that will be minus 372.8 kilojoule per mole. You can say here per mole. Okay. So that's why this is the enthalpy of combustion, which involves the combustion of a 1 mole of substance. So that will be okay. So students, sorry, this is not in kilojoule, I think this is kilocalorie. Okay, this is kilocalorie. So here kg per mole, it's okay, because so formation of a combustion of 1 mole of substance, but here I can't write kilocalorie per mole, because you know this is, it involves the combustion of a 2 mole of substance. That's why that will be 372 kilocalorie per mole. So will be kilocalorie per. Okay, so this is enthalpy of combustion. Next there is a term called calorific value. Calorific value. Calorific value of foods. Calorific value means it is the amount of energy produced in calorie or joule when 1 gram of any substance or food, you can say, when 1 gram of substance is completely oxidized, that is called calorific value of foods or any substance. For example, if I consider, just now I have discussed methane, an oxidation with oxygen gives you carbon dioxide plus water, and the liberation of energy plus 890.3 kilojoule per mole. That clear? So here you see this is combustion of 1 mole of methane. So 1 mole of methane means that will be 44 gram of methane, the energy released, that is 890.3 kilojoule mole. So for 1 gram, that will be minus 890.3 divided by 44. So that will be equal to minus 55.6 kilojoule per gram. So this is the calorific value of what? Methane. Clear? Next, very important, that is enthalpy of neutralization. Enthalpy of neutralization. So neutralization is a process between acid and base. Okay, so that is, it is the amount of energy evolved. It is the amount of energy evolved, or you can say decrease in enthalpy when 1 gram equivalent of an acid is neutralized by 1 gram equivalent of 1 gram equivalent of a base in dilute solution. For example, if I consider strong acid plus strong base giving rise to salt plus water. So here this enthalpy of neutralization, that should be somehow negative. And if I consider strong acid, that is HCl plus strong base in dilute solution, that's why aqueous medium I have considered, that will be NaCl plus H2O liquid, and here the del H minus 57.1 kilojoule. You see, this one is nothing but the neutralization between strong acid and strong base. If I begins to write its ionic form, that will be H plus aqueous plus Cl minus aqueous plus Na plus aqueous OH minus aqueous giving rise to Na plus aqueous plus Cl minus aqueous plus H2O liquid. Del H again minus 57.1 kilojoule. And here you see the Cl minus ion get cancelled, Na plus get cancelled. So this is nothing but the formation of water plus OH minus aqueous gives you H2 liquid. So it's a neutralization reaction. H plus OH minus, heat of formation of water, you can say, that is del H minus 57.1 kilojoule per mole. Here you can write, because this is the heat of formation of water. 1 mole of water is formed over here. Next, if I consider a reaction between strong acid and weak base, then if reaction between strong acid and weak base, then generally the del H value becomes less than that of 57.1. How? Say strong acid, let's say HCl plus weak base, let's say ammonium hydroxide. This one is a weak base. Then a strong acid, this one is weak base, giving rise to again salt, that is NH4 Cl plus H2 liquid. So here del H is something how less than that of 57.1, and here you can say 51 point something, okay, but that is less than that of 57.1. How? Because some amount of heat energy is utilized for the dissociation of this weak component, because weak components are weak electrolytes, so energy is required to break them. That's why some amount of energy is used for the dissociation of complete dissociation of this weak base. That's why the overall value becomes less than that of 57.1 in case of if any weak component, either acid or base, is used in neutralization process. Okay, so this is your enthalpy of neutralization. So for today's class this much. Thank you for your kind attention, students. Okay.